What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from Unsleeved Media, here with our midnight release of Hour of Devastation. The hour is midnight, and it's time to crack this booster box. Now, if you haven't seen it already, I was absurdly lucky in a fat pack, pulling, well, you'll have to check out the fat pack if you missed it. This will be part of an Hour of Devastation openings playlist. And if you like openings, that I do a lot of that on this channel, but I'll also have probably 3 cases of Hour of Devastation opened in several long videos. Maybe next week, early next week. I'm hoping they arrive tomorrow. I'm not counting on it. Maybe they'll arrive on Saturday, but then that means I'll do it Sunday. So we're gonna have a ton of Hour of Devastation openings. Those will be for the patrons. These are mine. I bought these for me. Imagine that. Let's get started. Obviously, some of the crazy pulls are the Scarab God, which is worth more than I thought it was. Nickel Bolus being a closer to $20 bill. And a lot of other things. But nonetheless, we have Adorned Pouncer. Kitty Catty. A 2-mana, 1/1 with Double Strike and Eternalize. Catty. Hey, if you aren't following at Unsleeved Media on Twitter, I know a lot of you kind of got burnt out with the MTG headquarters Twitter because I kind of mixed all my personal stuff in with that. The Unsleeved Media is up to a couple thousand followers at this point, and I promise it's Magic the Gathering related only. So give it a follow and tweet me your pulls this weekend. I'm very interested to see them. I love seeing them. Scavenger Grounds. Tap to add a waste to your mana pool, or or pay 2, tap, sacrifice a desert, exile all cards from all graveyards. I haven't really been advertising that Twitter. It's just kind of been growing on its own, but I keep all the posts Magic related only there. Claim to Fame and Nimble Navigator. Nimble Obstructionist. 3 mana, 3/1 with Flash. Cycling, and it allows you to counter an activated ability or triggered ability if you happen to cycle it. Crook of Condemnation. Looks like kind of like a spoonful of cereal to me. Merciless Eternal. Struggle. And Swarm Intelligence. 7 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets. Firebrand Archer. Love this card. It'd be interesting to see if anybody brews around that. I mean, you have a couple copies of that in place. I mean, it only deals 1, I guess, and it's only when you cast something, so it's not like Reveler or whatever, but I like that card. Supreme Will, Appeal to Authority, Devotee of Strength, and Hollow 1. 5 mana, 4/4. Hollow 1 costs 2 less to cast for each card you've cycled or discarded this turn. Get some value there if you cycle. You know, you can cast the, it's not that good, I don't think. I mean, you could cheat it out a little early, but it's still just a 4/4. It's not like it's something absurd. Amit Eternal. Now, this card's pretty good. 3 mana, 5/5 that gets with a flick 3, meaning anytime it gets blocked, deals 3 damage. And however, whenever an opponent casts a spell, you put a -1/-1 counter on it, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you can remove all 1/1 counters. So it incentivizes people to block it and still take the 3 or cast a bunch of spells. I played that in a sealed pre-release yesterday. I had no problems at all with it, but I happen to be playing a red-white aggressive deck with lots of tricks. Hour of Promise. 5 mana, search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them on the battlefield, tapped, shuffled into your shuffle your library. Then if you control 3 or more deserts, create 2 zombies. So obviously you can go get deserts if you want to. It doesn't say 2 basic lands, right? So you can go get some deserts and get value, but it's still not that great, I don't think. I mean, it's a nice ramp, I guess. Sifter Worm, Ipnu Rivulet, oh god, Torment of Scarabs, and Uncage the Menagerie, our first mythic. Double green and X. Search your library for up to X creature cards with different names that have each converted mana cost of X. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. That could be abused. I've been wondering if there'd be some sort of like green ramp deck in this new standard. What do you think? I suppose I'll never know because Wizards doesn't want to share the data. Bullshit. Excuse me. Doomfall, Sunscourge Champion, Eternal of Harsh Truths, and Reason to Believe. Pay 1 to scry 3 is very strong. And Believe is, look at the top card of your library. You may put it onto the battlefield if it's a creature card. So you can go get your big fatty, pay 4, cast your big fatty. So it's not totally crummy. Sifter Worm. I'm not saying it. Inferno Jet. And Grind to Dust. This is strong. A 2 mana, put a -1/-1 counter up to each 2, and then Dust. Exile any number of creatures that have -1/-1 counters on them. So it's potentially very, very powerful. And we have a foil full art island. Nice. That's a nice hit. Because the full arts already aren't in every pack. Foil full art is always worth a few bucks down the line. So that's a nice double hit. That's probably the equivalent of pulling a mythic, I'm guessing, or similar to it. Getting his defeat. The defeats kind of suck as uncommons, and I'll tell you why in a second. Hour of Eternity, triple blue, double X, exile X target creature cards. I'm celebrating myself here. For each card exiled that way, put out a copy that's a 4/4 zombie. I mean, it's not terrible. If you can generate a ton of mana, it's pretty good. I already forgot what I was going to say. Awesome job. Awesome job, me. All right. Oh, the defeats at uncommon. It feels bad because unless it's like a guaranteed sideboard card. You can never main deck it. It just doesn't make sense. Farm to market, it's pretty good. So it kind of sucks to have that in your uncommon side, in my opinion. Apocalypse Demon, 6 mana. Its power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap Apocalypse Demon unless you sacrifice another creature. So this is similar to Desecration Demon, only not as good, right? Maybe it's better? I don't know. In some sort of... It's not like it has trample or... I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading it right. I mean, it could be a 6 mana 1/1. Oh, Locust God! And we've got nice curl. Right out of the pack, we've got curl going on. Great job, Wizards. 6 mana, 4/4. Very, very good. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 blue-red haste insect creature. Plus, you can pay for it to draw a card. And when it dies, it returns to your hand. It's one of the more expensive pulls. It's not bad. Farm to market. And God Pharaoh's Gift. 7 mana. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it. That's a 4/4. That, and it gains haste till end of turn. That's a pretty strong ability. It's 7 mana, so I don't see it getting played anywhere but in limited, especially like maybe sealed. I don't think I would play it in draft. It's just too expensive. Like, I want the game over by turn 7. Gideon's Defeat. Obelisk Spider, that's fun. Pride Sovereign, this is a pretty nice card. You got to deal with this one if they're in like green-white cats. It's a 3 mana 2/2, but it gets 1/1 for each other cat you control. Plus, you can pay a white, tap it, and make a cat. Now, it doesn't have... You know, it's like a green-white... It's potential that you have a sealed pool or like a draft deck that has Felidar Sovereign in it and this, and you can make it very big. But it doesn't have hexproof or anything. It still dies to Doomblade. Rune Map Excavator, 3 mana. Oh, yeah, this is actually a nice pull. I didn't... I forgot. I remember reading about this. Yeah, this is like a $6 or $7 rare. You may play cards from your graveyard. Obviously valuable... because of other formats, I imagine. And Our Revelation. I got wrecked by this and sealed several times. 6 mana board wipe, basically. Destroy all non-land permanents. So that's your enchantments, that's your artifacts, that's everything but lands. Hence, all non-land permanents. Don't think it'll see any constructive play, but certainly EDH will be great. Be very powerful in EDH. If there are 10 or more non-land permanents, by the way, you can cast it for triple white. Hazoret's Undying Fury, 6 mana sorcery. Shuffle your library, then exile the top 4 cards. You may cast any number of non-land cards with converted mana cost of 5 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. And we have a foil Consign to Oblivion. We haven't found... I mean, this box has been... Pretty meh. But, you know, I have a feeling we're going to find ourselves Nicol Bolas. Ramanap Hydra, 4 mana 3/3. Vigilance, Reach, Trample. It gets 1/1 as you control a desert. And it gets 1/1 as long as there's one in your graveyard. It's not a bad card. It's a 4 mana 3/3 with Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. It's not a bad creature in general. Do you first pick it? I don't slam first pick it, but it's pretty good. Supreme Will. Appeal to Authority, Sand Strangler, and Champion of Wits. I had a chance to play with this card. It's very, very good, especially with your own spells that bounce it, like Unsummon or the single black, like in Black-Blue, where if it dies, it returns to the battlefield. This was in my 5/0 deck. When it enters the battlefield, you draw cards equal to its power. So basically, you pay 3 mana for a 2/1 that you draw 2, and then you discard 2. But later, when you eternalize it, late game with 7 mana, you draw 4 and only discard 2. It's very good. In my opinion. At least it's very good in limited play. That's what I play the most. Torment of Hailfire. This one is pretty spicy too. Double black and X. Repeat the process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So late game, casting this for like 10 is backbreaking. It's potentially lethal. I mean, if you might only have 1 card in your hand, you don't have any permanents on the board, you're just dead. I mean, that card's very strong. I don't know. I mean, certainly EDH where you can generate tons of mana would be really hilarious. Overcome. And we have Leave to Chance. Chancy Pants. Return any number of target permanents you control to your hand, so to protect them. And Chance, Aftermath. Discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. Pretty strong. In limited play. We haven't found our foil rare yet, so maybe we'll find something extra spicy. Oh, there we go. I believe that's the most expensive card in the set. Boom! Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, 7 mana, 7 loyalty, +2. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. +1, each opponent exiles 2 cards from his or her hand. -4, it deals 7 damage to target opponent or a creature. -12, exile each non-land permanent your opponent controls. Very strong. Yes, it's 7 mana. It should be. Very good. Refuse to Cooperate. 4 mana. Refuse deals damage to target spells control equals that spell's mana cost. So you cast a 7 mana spell. Boom, you respond with this. Deal 7 to their face. Cooperate. Copy target or instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for that spell. We still need some work. We need a Scarab God, I think, is what we need. Probably a foil one. I mean, I don't want to be picky, but, you know, if I had to say. Fraying Sanity, 3 mana, enchant player, curse. At the beginning of each step, enchanted player puts top X cards of his or her library into their graveyard. X a number of cards they put into the graveyard from anywhere this turn. That could be fun. That could be fun. Little Mill Town, Milwaukee. Little Brew Town. Now we have Neheb. We have the mythic Neheb. 5 mana, 4/6 with a flick 3 at the beginning of your post-combat main phase. Wow, how often did they call that out? Add 1 red to your mana pool for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. That's overly convoluted. Your post-combat main phase. What happened to just second main phase? There's obviously a reason they called it that, but Angel of Condemnation. This is very strong. 4 mana, 3/3 flyer with vigilance that you can pay 2 and a white to exile something, or you can exert it and exile it. Like you could basically bounce an attacker or something like that, or respond to something. But if you exert it, you can just take it off the battlefield permanently until they kill your angel with one of the many burn spells that there are in this set. Resilient Kenra. 2 mana 2/2. When it has a battlefield, target creature gets XX. Where it's power. So you pay 2, you give something else +2/+2, but when you eternalize it, you bring it back in, it's 4/4, you give something else 4/4. Eternalize is a fun mechanic. Probably not going to see any standard play, but it's fun. Imminent Doom, 3 mana enchantment that no one's going to play, maybe an EDH. Comes in with 1 counter. Every time you cast a 1 mana CMC spell, you put another counter on it, it deals 1 damage. You cast a 2 mana spell, you put a counter on it, you deal 2 damage. You cast a 3 mana spell, you put a counter on it, you deal 3 damage. You get the idea. River Hoopa. I played it in a burn deck. Solemnity? God, this word. 3 mana enchantment. Players can't get counters. Counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, or enchantments, or lands. No effect counters. Not good. Hoser. Hour of Glory. Basic 4 mana. Whoa. I remember. I just went back, flashed back to 8 years old, 9 years old there. Hour of Glory. 4 mana, exile target creature. If it's a god, its controller exiles all copies of that god. So, that's strong. It's still a 4 mana instant speed removal spell. We've got a foil in this pack. Chandra's Defeat. Gideon's Defeat. Rune Map Defeat. Rona's Last Stand. Double green. Create a 5/4 green snake creature token. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. And even Enduring Hope. Ooh, we might not get a foil rare in this box. That must be, we're going to find an invocation then in one of these last 3 packs. Hey, if you miss anything, I'm going to have tons of openings. If you enjoy the openings, I do a lot more than just openings. Make sure you subscribe here to Unsleeved Media. I cover mostly Magic the Gathering, but I cover a lot of things. I plan to anyway. Jujuru, Eyes Wide Open. 5 mana 4/3. Seeks out a Planeswalker and also helps prevent damage to it. The first damage is prevented. Open fire. We've got a foil in this pack. Razaketh's Right. Unraveling Mummy. Tenacious Hunter. Hazard's Undying Fury. I think we talked about that card already. All right, last 2 packs. Hey, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you guys are all enjoying Hour of Devastation. I'm looking forward to getting all your tweets at Unsleeved Media of your pulls, your draft stories, and much more. Earthshaker Kenra. I don't think I've opened this yet. 2 mana 2/1. With haste, when it enters the battlefield, target creature with power less than or equal to Earthshaker can't block this turn. Okay, so when you eternalize it, then it's better. Not that great. Last pack, no foil rares unless I missed it. Did I just maybe it's because I got a foil full art that I won't get a foil rare. Is that a thing? You're supposed to get 1 per box. Did not get it unless I missed it. And if I missed it, you've already commented and said, hey, idiot, you missed it. If I didn't miss it, I was very unlucky. There's a foil and it's blue. We finished with a mythic. Unish Cryo Sphinx Sovereign, 6 mana 4/4. Sphinx spells you cast cost. This is like a Sphinx commander, right? That's what it is. And our foil rares in the last pack, Hour of Eternity. Got there, Wizards. You stayed for the last pack. Pretty spicy box overall. Hey, I would love to hear what you think of the new set. I'd love to hear what you think of the limited environment, what's going on with Hour of Devastation, what's going on with Magic in general. Just post them up in the comments down below. I read every one of them. I respond to many of them. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.